Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I thought I'd answer some questions because I get some people that they ask questions like, well, how can you guys eat this food or that food? But the reality is, generally speaking, we don't eat anything different really than what we did in the US. We kind of have the same tastes, right? It's just that sometimes when you're overseas, that particular taste is manufactured there by a family that happens to have an Indian restaurant that you really enjoy, or maybe it's a Chinese restaurant, or even a Western restaurant. So a lot of people don't realize that you can get Western style of food all over the world. The culture of Western food, United States food, it's global. I mean, I can get a hamburger, I can get a pork burger, I can get a chicken burger. I mean, I can get anything you want done in any different variations. And some of the best hamburgers I've ever had in my life were actually in Taiwan. So you just don't, can't assume that your particular food that you like at your hometown is only going to be made in that hometown, because there's a very good chance, unless it's very, very specialized, grandma or auntie is making that food just specific recipe, then maybe in that case that's true. But for the most part, you can get everything you want all over the world. In America, we love barbecue. Well, I can get a lot of barbecue right here in Malaysia. I can get barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs, I can get brisket. Oh man, I can go on and on. Barbecued hamburgers, I can even do them myself in my own gas barbecue. The quality of meat products seems to be a little higher in some places of the world than over others, and so the taste may be better. The vegetables may have more flavor because they're grown maybe more naturally, and maybe they're from a smaller family, farm. It's hard to say. So food quality, food experience is not necessarily less than what you could get back home. If you were craving back home food, you can get biscuits and gravy right here in Malaysia. It sounds bizarre, that's very American, but literally it's like a couple blocks from our house. We can get biscuits and gravy if you really wanted to. And there's a lot of Americans living all over the world. There's a lot of people that are living in an expatriate life. It's not just myself and Karen. There's others that are doing so. So when it comes to your food and what you want to get all over the world, I wouldn't worry too much about it, unless you're planning on, cutting some serious costs. Okay, if you cut your costs down way down, you can live on the open economy, and some of these places in Southeast Asia, very economical, right? I mean, very low cost. But you're going to eat that specific type of food that is low cost. And that might be a little bit of rice, and that's it. Or it might be a little bit of something, some little chicken livers on a stick, and that's it. So you're going to definitely be on a diet if that's what you want to do. It's not something that we particularly want to do. But I guess if we had to, we could. But we prefer to enjoy those foods in a more, cleaner environment. Street food does come with its risks. And so some of it is very good, and some of it makes you live in the bathroom for the next week. So speaking of quality, I talked about travel tips. You can get things from the pharmacy here readily, easily. And I would basically tell people, any medicine that you need, pre-plan it before you leave home. Once you get to the country, if you're going to be there for any length of time, find a pharmacist that's willing to work with you and get your medicine ordered. They may have it on hand over the counter. It just sort of depends. Always keep some diarrhea medicine on hand. Keep some ibuprofen. Keep the equivalent to Tylenol, which is like a fever reducer. Sometimes you'll get a bug and Tylenol just doesn't really work. But you take an ibuprofen and it's like the fever just goes straight down. So it kind of depends on maybe what kind of virus that you might have. So you want to have a certain amount of your own pharmacy stuff, you know, in your backpack, in your suitcase, whatever you take with you, the type of trips you're going to do. And so just kind of keep that in mind, because if you are out enjoying food, even if it is a nice restaurant, just like we know from any country, whether we live in London or whether we live in the United States, all it takes is one person in the kitchen that didn't wash their hands to make you sick. So just, you know, practice good hygiene, try to eat good places, and don't forget the diarrhea medicine. Travel on, everyone.